Chapter 7. The Embracing of Revelation. My light magic pulses in the darkness of the field, a lighthouse light guiding the beast out to me, luring him, calling him. He will know it is me, and he will not be able to resist the temptation. There have been moments over the ages, in every timeline, when I have witnessed heroes of legend confront the beast, whether in his monstrous form or otherwise, and in every instance, his power has instilled fear in me. This time will be no different, but I must set aside my fear. I admit, it is not easy to do. Out of the darkness strides a familiar form, tall, broad-shouldered, sneering. He has shifted back into his Gerudo body. I wonder if this is purely for convenience's sake. After all, his beast form is massive enough to destroy the average room in the castle simply by taking a step onto its floor. He has no minions trailing him. What confidence he possesses! He would rather face me on his own than use his army against me. But this reveals his weakness. He will reduce himself and spite his power just to personally get at me. He and Yami have much in common. Though this incarnation of the beast has not yet laid eyes on me, the spirit which inhabits him has. He possesses an innate recognition of who I am, what I mean to his existence, that I am the light overtaking his shadow. And though he sneers, I know he must fear me as well. He strides up to me, halting a dozen paces away, and I lower my hand, extinguishing the light that pulled him here. We regard each other in silence for a few moments. Then, I speak with a flare of finality, conviction, and strength. Wielder of darkness and hate, you have survived this realm for far too long. Your demise is imminent. I raise my hand again to strike him with my holy light, and he begins to laugh. A dark, haunting cackle that cuts me to my core. Is he so in denial that he believes I cannot defeat him? I gather my light magic and allow a glowing beam to break its way out and toward his sniveling head. And he simply waves it away, his laughter ceasing as instantly as it had begun.
You should bow to your king,
he commands, ignoring my brazen statement.
Any action otherwise is treason.
His voice is a deep, heavy growl, demonic and full of abhorrence for me. I can feel the malicious evil vibrating off of his skin. You are no king, I reply. He takes an abrupt step forward and propels a long tendril of malice at me.
Bow, you petulant fool.
It catches me off guard, throwing me to my knees. But I do not allow it to keep me there for long. I grunt in concentration and slash the lingering evil substance with light, standing again. You are not welcome in this world, I continue. Leave it now. He chuckles under his breath, half smirking.
That cowardly royal family demanded the same. Isn't it fascinating that they are no longer here, and I am everywhere?
He gestures with his arms all around him, indicating the bubbling pools of malice that surround us.
I am in the very skies, you spineless, overbearing excuse for a goddess. I have crushed my enemies into nothing, overtaken the whole of Hyrule twice now. The wind speaks my name, and you are an insect to me. What kind of fool deigns to confront me knowing these things?
His overconfidence strikes me a bit harder than I imagined it would. And this confirms that King Daphnis and Princess Zelda are either dead or have escaped the castle. I wonder if I can get him to indicate which, before I destroy him. King Daphnis has power that rivals most mortals. He would be a solid blockade to your coup.
Perhaps if he were here to attempt it. He and that little bird Hyrule deigns to call a princess fled the instant I refused to concede. As I said, cowards.
So they are alive. The relief I feel almost chokes me. I have already cast the hero from this timeline. The death of its princess, whose veins run with my own power, would add another layer of chaos that no one needs. Regret threatens to overtake my relief, but I remind myself of my mission, to eviscerate this murderous beast. I gear up to send another blast of light his way, and he continues to speak, his palms charging with malicious energy. We are both readying ourselves for powerful attacks, and I must overcome his.
This will be entertaining. I have not had a good battle since the days of old. Since that slip of a hero and those despicable sages sealed me. They thought they ruined any chance of my obtaining that great golden power in full. But here I am, awake in more ways than one.
He will never obtain the Triforce. It is protected from your deviousness. You do not deserve its wishing power, and you will regret ever trying to acquire it. My light magic is amping up nicely, but I can see that his malice is looming larger and more concentrated, its color shifting from red to purple.
How blissful it must be to live in such fantasies. You have no concept of my power, goddess. I will obtain what is rightfully mine, and all will fall to my greatness.
With that lofty declaration, I expect him to target me with his magic, but instead, he raises his arms into the air and blasts the red sky open with it. I watch in horror as I realize that he isn't just making a hole in the red haze. He is sucking the malice from the sky into himself, powering himself up even more. He said it before. He is everywhere, which means he can use the environment to his benefit wherever he goes. I did not foresee this. I do my best to charge my own magic, but I have no external power to abuse. I only have what is within me, and I do not know if it will be enough. A slow sense of regret infiltrates me. Regret that the hero's lineage could not be furthered here in this realm, because of me. If it had, I could have used the hero to my advantage. The hero is the only being, earthly or otherwise, who can wield that legendary blade. A blade that was created to wound and seal the beast. But I still have confidence that I can destroy him altogether. Light overcomes darkness. It always has. It always will. It will. Won't it? I am witnessing a version of the beast that I have not before. He has evolved, somehow, while sealed away, grown his power into something more, something greater. And instead of morphing into his usual beastly form, he becomes something else. The malice puddles surround me begin to stir up, funneling into ruby-red tornadoes and home in on me. I release the magic I've been charging up, sending out an arc of light that disrupts their movement and fizzles them out. All the while, Ganondorf is changing form, and more spiraling, malice-fueled funnels take shape. These cyclones are simply a way to keep me distracted while he does so. His body grows significantly, feeding itself with the sky's malicious haze. Malice circles him, shielding him. I cannot see what he is becoming yet, but whatever it is, its size has now doubled. I charge my light again, dispelling the tornadoes. If I use all of my power on them, I will have none left to defend myself from Ganon. My mind strays for a moment to Rinku. What he had said to me last we spoke.
What if you can't? What if you fail? If Ganon overpowers you, my mother will be out of reach.
I can feel myself weakening. This slow-growing desperation, this leaking of assurance, it is beginning to consume me. The total certainty that I could defeat him. It is next to nothing now, as I watch the malice surrounding the beast fade and see his final form. A massive, inconceivably evil monster, hatred and malice incarnate, towers before me. He no longer resembles the Gerudo man. His skin has changed from green to a vacuumous black. His hair is made of malice itself, waving tendrils that move without wind. His limbs have grown with muscular definition, striations of the red substance pulsating within like blood-flowing veins. His eyes glow with golden red fire, and each exhale he makes spews malice into the air. I am nothing in comparison to him. Even my true goddess form would pale. But because I made a promise, because I must try, because this is my destiny, I fill my palms with light. The beast and I propel our magics toward each other, and the two powers collide in a fervor, a restless pushing and pulling. The malice eating away at my light, and the light recovering slightly, only to be forced backward toward me again. I push everything that I have into my eruption of power, pour my empathy and desire for justice into its force. For Rinku. There is nothing I will not do for the people of Hyrule. I will even die for them. A goddess's death is not the same as a mortal's, but it is nothing to scoff at. It involves the shattering of a spirit into infinite pieces, a torturous end to a long-living being, consciousness reduced to simple existence at its most microscopic level. And I will risk it for this land. But his power is too strong, as my own magic fades. I cannot produce more light. Sapped. I see my end. It is rushing toward me in red. And the King of Evil is laughing.
Begone, beast.
I am seconds from obliteration, when a new voice cuts through the hellish sounds of roaring malice, and I feel a sudden relief, Ganon's power pulling back from me. My light magic is tapped, only sparks fizzling from my fingers now, as I am released from the connection of magics. I collapse. I squint through the red haze surrounding me, and see a Hylian-shaped figure, hands raised, directed toward the monster. He wears a crown. King Daphnes focuses his telekinetic power, lifting Ganon hundreds of feet into the air, and then slamming him down, causing him to lose his balance. A beast this large tumbles harder. As he crashes into the earth, leaving behind a craterous cavity, the king rushes toward me, grabs my hand, and drags me away to safety.
Come now, Goddess Hylia. We must run.
I am weak, but willing. He pulls me, propelling me forward, the only reason I can move at all. We rush toward the thick tree line on the east edge of Hyrule Field, and I hear Ganon roaring with rage far behind us. For an older mortal, King Daphnes is certainly spry. Once we make it deep enough into the woods, he halts, panting and checking me for wounds. I cannot be physically wounded, but he likely does not know this, and it is kind of him to care.
Are you all right?
He asks me. His concern for me is touching, but it is difficult to appreciate it fully, because I have failed. I am unharmed, I reply, but my power is depleted.
I watched you from afar. I recognized your light, thinking it was my daughter who wielded it. But she has not come into her power yet. The only explanation was you.
I nod once in confirmation and glance behind us, but the beast has not followed. Perhaps he does not find me worthy of pursuit.
Why did you take on the beast, Goddess Hylia? Is it not the destiny of the hero to do so?
I have never met the king, but his rule is legendary. His mercy and kindness, traits that I admire. His intelligence is also something to behold. So, I decide not to lie to him. I believe he merits truth. I released Ganon from his seal, I admit. I watch his face contort with confusion. I did this so that I could destroy him. Sealing him away has only proven to be a mistake. He would have broken from his prison in time, and he would have been even more powerful had he done so. This was my decision, in service of Hyrule, but I looked to the ground, guilt writhing inside my soul. But this has also proven to be a mistake. The lesser of two evils, perhaps, but a mistake nonetheless. And now, I have failed my mission, King Daphnis. I am not strong enough to take him on, and the hero, I sent him away. He could not produce descendants to take on the role. A recognized hero does not exist in this realm. The king takes a few steps back, processing what I have confessed. This is the first time I have told anyone what I have done. Yami figured it out for himself, but my mission has always been a secret. I must apologize to you, Your Highness. I have placed your land in grave danger. I have been selfish. It is unbecoming of a goddess. It is sinful.
You must cease this talk.
He interrupts in a firm, commanding, kingly voice.
Your intentions were pure. You only wished to save Hyrule from Ganon's rule. For this, I can forgive you, Holy Goddess, and I will keep this knowledge to myself for as long as I live.
It is a strange thing to experience human emotion, but I feel it. The relief, the anguish lifting from my spirit ever so slightly, simply because of a few short words. And now, I know what my true mission must be. Now, gazing into this king's proud face, I know what I must do. Because there is only one option left. King Daphnis, please receive this gift, I say, gently grasping his hands in mine and closing my eyes. I use what little light magic I have left in me to perform the spell. He does not question me and allows me to send the magic through me and into him. I watch as his body receives it, as it glows bright gold and sings with the power. He returns to normal and gazes at his hands questioningly.
What have you given me?
The gift of immortality, Your Highness. He raises his eyes to mine in shock. You are an empathetic king, as I am an empathetic goddess, and you are the only other being who has deigned to fight the beast. You are important to this land, and you must remain in it for as long as possible. I believe your destiny is a path truer than mine.
What destiny? Please, Goddess Hylia, explain. I am not worthy of such a gift.
You are. And in time, when all has been washed away, you must find a hero. One who has the courage to meet the Three's expectations. Put them through the appropriate tests. Bring the legendary hero back.
Why? Why must I become immortal for this task?
I look to the red skies in shame. Because there is only one choice that I have left, and it is to rid this world of Ganon's influence by way of an all-consuming flood. As many souls as possible will be saved from this disaster, but the three have already decreed it, and it is our last hope.
A flood?
I nod to him, somber. I can see in his eyes that he knows I speak true. I do not know how long it will take. It could be hundreds of years, but in time, there will be someone who can take on the role of hero. Someone with a courageous soul, a stout heart, and a wise mind. And I need you to seek them out. King Daphnis frowns in disbelief, but I can see him slowly accepting the reality of our situation. As king, he has been molded to do this, to receive information, however damaging or negative, and move forward accordingly, for the good of his realm. I believed that I was going to be the savior of this timeline, that this Hyrule, this very special Hyrule, would see me returning its peace. But now I understand. There is a reason the three do not meddle, a reason they only intercede when necessary. Heroes exist in every line of time. It just takes a while to unearth them.
I don't have it.
Rinku told Yami in defiance. When the god yet again asked him about the blood, Yami's face constricted in anger, something Rinku had only ever seen from him when he and Hylia confronted each other in the streets of Hylias. The god actually growled under his breath.
Boy, you've been testing my patience much too often,
He said, eyeing Rinku's throat as if he wished to squeeze it.
I have given you a simple task. What happened to the grand hero? The legend? Has he disappeared?
Rinku took a deep breath, afraid to give Yami his honest feelings. But at this point, he felt it necessary. He had been running, scared and blind for too long.
I don't know if I'm a hero. I don't know if I'm anything. Something about this mission seems wrong, Yami. You tell me Hylia deserves justice, but she's fighting Ganon right now. At least she's trying to save Hyrule. All you want to do is destroy the very goddess willing to do it.
Yami raised his eyebrows in a sarcastic fashion.
Ah, I see. So you're on the side of evil now. The three tasked me with this mission, Rinku. That is no small thing. And besides...
He smirked, clearly reveling in whatever he was about to say.
Hylia failed. She had no chance against the beast. His power was too evolved and she was too arrogant.
What?
His heart raced, and an ache grew in his stomach.
It is true. I saw it with my own eyes. She had to be rescued by a passerby. She is a goddess, and she cannot even hold her own in battle. You have placed your trust in the wrong god, Rinku. I told you from the beginning, Hylia is treacherous.
So, it had all come down to this. His worst fear realized. Hylia had claimed defeating Ganon was their best bet in every sense. In saving the world, and in saving his mother. But now he didn't know what was going to happen. Was Yami's plan all he had left?
There's still a chance she can save my mother. I have to give her time.
Place your trust in me instead, boy. I will save your mother. Once Hylia is dealt with, once she is no longer a threat to this land, you and I will rescue her, together. How does that sound?
Yami's words were kind, but his voice took a harsher tone. Was this his only hope? He had to trust this unorthodox god, allow his guidance to drive him, a god he didn't even worship. But what other choice was there? He wondered, if Ganon went unchecked, what would happen to Hyrule? He had been so focused on finding his mother, so obsessed with righting his wrongs, with making his sister happy. He neglected to see the big picture. There were more than just Eri and Utsu who lived in Hyrule. Rinku now began to imagine all of the children, the elderly, the ones who could not defend themselves, perishing at the hands of the beast. Why had he not thought of this before now? The lives that would be taken and affected. Because he was selfish, more selfish than Hylia, who had released this evil upon the land.
I don't know.
He was panicking inside, the realizations crowding him like a swarm of bees. He gazed up into the bright, angry eyes of the god of law and dealings. He did not know what to do. But then, Yami made the decision for him.
I cannot allow you to fail me. I am giving you one more day, boy. If you do not have the blood by tomorrow, your family will pay with their very lives, even if I have to take them myself. Witnessing Hylia's defeat might have been the greatest moment of my long existence. Even though that unworthy king rescued her, seeing her face, the way she collapsed, how her spirit was crushed when she realized she could not win. It was like the breaking of the sun through stormy clouds. But the satisfaction it brought me has faded. Now my rage prevails. Rinku has disappointed me several times over, and without that blood, my plan is a wash. I may have to retrieve it if he cannot bring himself to. Normally I keep my own hands clean by standing in the shadows, allowing others to perform any physical crimes necessary. But perhaps my tactics need to change. At the start of all of this, I believed Rinku to be a boy who could act against his intrinsic, mortal empathy. That he had nothing for which to live, and therefore nothing to lose. But I was wrong.
You alright there, Yami?
Osoi sits on his disheveled rack, peering up at me in concern.
You're looking a bit pale, mate.
I shake from my rumination and adjust my expression to a calmer one. I am fine. Please, Osoi, tell me what you've discovered. The first mate sighs.
Well, I couldn't glean much, to be honest with you. But what I did hear caught my attention. Utsu has been trying to change the captain's perspective on things.
What do you mean?
Well, I don't know if you've noticed, but the captain ain't fond of men. Never has been. It took years for her to appoint me as first mate, mainly because my maleness put her off. Utsu's been trying to convince her that it's a folly kind of thinking. That Ganon is male, so it's hypocritical or something or other. Trying to make her see the error of her ways.
He scoffs.
Silly women. Then the captain told her she'd see the power of Ganon in the next prediction. That she'd understand our ways once she saw who he really is. That his maleness don't matter. So, she sent Utsu off with a couple of fish to get more hollows.
I raise my eyebrows in surprise. Utsu went willingly to gather souls? She seemed perturbed at the sight last I saw her.
Well, she was motivated. Captain's been promising she'll release her back to her family if she does everything she asks. Plus, Utsu demanded they find tainted souls. Murderers, ideally. I guess the woman decided it was in her best interest, but she wanted it on her terms.
Intriguing. I expected different from Utsu. She must be significantly more desperate at this point. Though she did seek out the pirates to kill them 6 months ago. Perhaps it isn't so surprising. Have they returned with the hollows yet? Osoi shakes his head.
Not yet. They only left a couple hours ago.
Will you tell me what the prediction is, when it is made? The scallywag hesitates. Osoi, brother, I am indebted to you now. You've already proved your loyalty. Whatever you wish for, I will provide. Please, just allow me to access this one last piece of information.
Oh, alright. You got me as usual.
We clap each other on the backs, and I take my leave with a bit of hope on the horizon. If Utsu is willing to participate in the seedy activities of the Shuin, perhaps she'll be more inclined to steal that crystal core from me. Once you crack the shell of a person's morality, it is easier and easier to do. I then would not have to use Rinku anymore, the disappointment that he is. Though I cannot know this new prediction as of yet. In the long run, it doesn't truly matter. If Rinku acquires that blood, all will be well for me. Hylia will be weakened, reduced to mortality, and then I will drive a knife through her forsaken heart.
It is commonplace in Hyrule's culture as a whole that when one does something wrong to another, an act of service is offered with the apology. Whether a gift, advice, rupees, or a simple acknowledgement of debt, the gesture is what matters. In fact, it goes deeper than that. Simply the thought of the gesture is what matters. That one would have the self-awareness to offer kindness in service of making up for their mistake. It is the ultimate way to set things right. And this is what I must do for Rinku. I have failed Hyrule, damaged it, set it on a path of destruction. This pains me to my core. But what pains me further is that I have failed the boy. I promised him that I would defeat Ganon so that his mother could be easily rescued. And now that I have been defeated, Utsu is in more danger than she ever was. So now, as Rio yet again sails me across the sea, I hope to the three that the Shuin's ship is indeed docked at the Death Mounds, as the Goron on Eventide supposed it would be. I can see the islands in the distance now, tall and dark, volcanic landmasses that exude an aura of tension. The knowledge that beneath each mound lies pools of dangerous magma, liable to explode from their mouths at any moment. Well, it is bracing. A ship is indeed docked here, the sails black and red, the colors of the Shuin, reminiscent of Ganon. Rio asks if I would like him to accompany me, but I refuse. I do not want to put him in any danger, and boarding the Shuin's vessel is guaranteed to do so. So he waits for me on the other side of the docks, as far away from the pirate ship as he can be. The name of the vessel, painted in red on the bow, reads Roger. There do not seem to be any guards keeping the strangers from boarding, so I step lightly up the gangway as several men and women bustle around, performing tasks. Most of them ignore me, until one older man with a scraggly beard and a pleasant demeanor strides up with gumption.
How do you do, miss? Can I help you with something?
I am looking for the captain of this ship, sir.
May I ask what for?
I hesitate. The Shuin are criminals, murderers, soul stealers. I cannot trust them and must be cautious. I have information that the captain would benefit from receiving, I tell him. I am stretching the truth. I only want to find out if Utsu is here and alive. The man squints his eyes in suspicion, but I know the pirate code. If the presence of the captain is requested, the summons must be honored without a violent response. He leaves and returns a few minutes later with a Gerudo woman, her expression stern and disapproving. She saunters up to me, dragging her eyes down my form. It somehow feels incredibly intrusive, though she has not touched me. While I have not met this woman, I know who she is. She is infamous for her magical talent of prophecy wielding. It is close to a god-tier power.
Where do these strange people come from?
She mutters to herself. Good evening, Captain Yaken. May we speak privately? She sighs.
I am tired of the secret discussions, the strange offers, and the deals. We can speak right here.
Deals? Has Yami been sniffing around the Shuin as well? If he is in league with them, this land is in much more danger than I believed. All right. I would like you to tell me if a woman named Utsu is alive and here with you. Please be honest with me. If she has perished, I must know so that I can give the news to her family. But if not, you must release her. Today. The captain raises her eyebrows.
Have you been speaking with Yami?
Her eyes are full of hate at the mention of his name. Of course. He has been steps ahead of me, using his cunning. But toward what purpose? I know of him, yes, but I do not know his plans.
Who are you?
I am someone Yami hates. Recognition alights in her face.
Are you the goddess?
Now it is my turn to raise eyebrows. Her expression turns resolute.
Perhaps we should speak privately. My quarters are this way.
She guides me towards the ship's cabin, and though the way inside looks dark and ominous, I follow. If Utsu is here, I must do all I can to retrieve her, even if that means making a deal with this captain. She is a Ganon worshipper, yes, an evil doer, but it would be worth it to make up for my failures. Inside the rickety, cluttered room, we sit and Captain Yaken regards me with interest.
I suppose your fight with Lord Ganon did not go as you planned.
How do you know of this? She chuckles.
You seem to know much of me. I do my research as well. Besides, if you are the goddess Yami spoke of, it would make sense that you would try and thwart the rule of my lord. That is what your sort does, yes? One of the only true things Yami ever told me was that you would attempt this.
You are working with Yami?
He was working for me, until he betrayed me. But it doesn't matter. He's just a man who thinks too highly of himself.
A man? Captain, do you not know that Yami is also a god? The captain's face falls. If he has made a deal with you, he is using you for a concealed agenda, one that he believes is divine and destined for him. But he is wrong. Her anger is now apparent. Yami has evidently been posing as someone else in order to gain her trust. However, as I have been violently shown over the course of the last few days, gods are just as flawed as mortals. He has failed to obtain what he needs from the Shuin. The captain gathers herself and looks me in the eyes.
Utsu isn't here, but she is working for me now as well. And she's the only one who has kept her word. So no, I will not release her. But I appreciate the information you've given me. It's no wonder he was able to escape the brig so easily.
Please, you must release Utsu. She has children who need her. What do you gain by keeping her here?
My gains are my business. But I will tell you this. Utsu is plucky. She's willing to do what is necessary. I'm not inclined to let that go so easily.
If you do not—
What? What are you going to do? You're a goddess, and you could not defeat Lord Ganon. Why should I fear you at all?
Her point's validity irks me. My magic is still depleted. I cannot best her physically. When the three created me, they had empathy in mind, not violence. All I can do is use my words. But sometimes words are a kind of magic themselves. I cannot do anything to you, Captain, but I can implore you to tap into your humanity, to put yourself in Utsu's place. Her son has taken desperate steps to try and find her. He is the reason I am here. You must have some empathy left in your heart. The cynical woman scoffs at me.
You're just like Yami. You both want something. You both keep your secrets and pretend you have no hidden intentions. At least I am open about who I am and what I want. And what I want is to wield my magic in peace.
Ganon worshipper or not, the captain only asked to be left alone, to live her life and reveal her prophecies. I cannot fault her for this, even if I am against everything she stands for. I rise and the captain follows suit. When Utsu returns, please, ask her about her children. Ask her to tell you their names, how old they are, and ask her what she would do for them, especially if your Lord Ganon becomes ruler of this land. He is evil incarnate, Captain Yaken, and he has also been honest about what he wants, and what he wants has nothing to do with you. I turn to leave, but stop for a moment and look into her golden red eyes earnestly. If we were all to perish tomorrow, what sort of legacy would you want to leave behind? A woman who kept another woman from her children? Or one who was willing to give her one last day with them? I stride from the dark room, unwilling to give the captain another glance or a chance to respond to me. I want to leave her with those words. No one stops me as I disembark the ship and reach Rio's sailboat. I am quiet on the ride back to the mainland, uncertain of what tomorrow will bring. All that I know is that the three have a job to do, and it is now my responsibility to ensure they can do it.
Next time on Destined to Drown.
I can't survive this world without you.
It is time to combine these artifacts, Rinku. Let us finally be rid of the traitor.
But he is not alone. And he is wearing a strange, familiar-looking mask.
She doesn't care about you. She only wants to kill the beast because she has failed so many times to do so.
Rinku? The three have not tasked the boy with anything, I swear it.
You stupid boy.
Where a huge gush of water emerged as though from nowhere.
Run to the mountaintops or cliff sides, the highest points you can find.